At the end of one of his posts yesterday, President Trump said something almost unthinkable. I would like to thank thus far all of the countries of the Middle East for their support and cooperation, which will be further enhanced and strengthened by their joining the nations of the historic Abraham Accords. And who knows, perhaps the Islamic Republic of Iran would like to join as well. Now, my first reaction, and probably yours too, was that's crazy. Then I took a beat and reminded myself of something I have to tell myself all the time. Donald Trump lives in the future. While he's engaged in the extremely tough real world of negotiations, which as of this moment are still in motion, he is operating from a completely new world, one where real physical economics and not geopolitical games govern the outcomes. He knows it, and so does the empire, which is why their American mouthpiece, the Council on Foreign Relations, just launched a new multi-year project entitled The Future of American Strategy. This project amounts to an admission that the empire's century-long project of subjugating America's policy to Britain's is over. But if you listen to the lineup of Trump's critics, whether they're the so-called liberal establishment or the neocon Neanderthals, you'd think Donald Trump had just flown a plane load of cash to the IRGC and surrendered to the Ayatollah. Mike Pompeo posted that the agreement would pay the IRGC to build a WMD program and terrorize the world, not remotely America first. What Pompeo and his perpetual war crowd don't want you to see is what is emerging: a world of sovereign nations led by the great powers, the United States, Russia, China, and India, forging new relations and new policies that can mark a genuine future of development and peace built on the American system principles. I'm Susan Kokinda. I've tracked the battle between the American system and the British imperial model for decades. And right now, the American system forces are advancing, and you have to understand that. So hit those like, subscribe, and share buttons so we can stay in touch and expand our reach. Here's what I'm going to cover today. First, how Donald Trump has taken the reins of global policy out of British hands using the one weapon they never saw coming: real physical economics. Second, why the CFR's new project is, in reality, an admission of defeat and what they accidentally revealed in the process. And third, how Russia, China, India, and the United States can shape a new world, and it's now coming into view. So go back to Pompeo's post and look at the response from White House Communications Director Stephen Chung. Mike Pompeo has no idea what the F he's talking about. He should shut his stupid mouth and leave the real work to the professionals. Well, Chung is certainly right about Pompeo, but it's more than a question of professionals. There's something fundamental at work here, and it's easy to miss if you're still trapped inside the old geopolitical framework. Now, if you look behind all the twists and turns of the military operation and the multi-layered diplomacy over Iran, you're going to find a principle that Trump has never deviated from. He doesn't run foreign policy on imperial geopolitical rules, where every nation is supposed to play its dutiful role in maintaining the globalist financial architecture. He operates on a completely different definition of hard power. Everyone assumes hard power means military and kinetic force. Well, we certainly demonstrated that in the opening phases of the Iran conflict. But there's another kind of hard power, and it's the kind that wins decisively. Go back to the December National Security Strategy. One sentence stands out above all others, and it starts in the section which talks about the importance of America's reindustrialization to our national security. It says, the future belongs to the makers, the builders, the producers. In other words, the world of real physical production, not the City of London, not the speculative markets, not the futures markets, not the choke points. This is the foundation of America's entire foreign policy. And in the Iran conflict, it played out with surgical precision. So start with America's energy independence. Because the United States is no longer reliant on Iranian oil, we could prosecute our strategy without restraint. No hesitation, no vulnerabilities. And then, once the kinetic phase of the operation was largely complete, the administration closed Iran's oil spigot entirely. They shut off Iranian exports through the Strait of Hormuz. And once Iran's storage facilities were full, time ran out, which is where we are right now.
And on the Iran, I had no choice because they were going to have a nuclear weapon. We're not going to give them a nuclear weapon. But that's going to end soon, one way or the other. Oil is going to come tumbling down. There's so much oil. We have 1,600 ships in the Strait that are loaded up with oil that are going to be coming out very soon. So we'll have to see.
I'm the son of a working man, and he's the son of a man who lived off his land. Yeah, he chewed red and drank whiskey straight. His heart pumped southern pride but never filled with hate. Nah, he shook your hand and meant what he said. He never took a handout, he busted ass instead. And when you met him, then you knew that shit was real, cause his morals never changed over a couple dollar bills, no. Now fast forward to his grandson. What type of shit you think I'm on? We got the same blood. Yeah, see I was raised by the real, and these soft motherfuckers just don't know how that feels now. Ooh, if you gon' cross that line, then baby be ready, cause you never met another motherfucker that's quite like me. Ooh, and they ain't talking about nothing, just a lot of gun bumping. If they really want something, then fuck it, they ain't nothing, baby, we gon' see. I'm just a product of some tough times, like when they ran that firewall across them county lines. Yeah, they loaded Chevy beds down, kept a lookout for the law and took the long way around, yeah. See that survivor shit, it runs deep, and I'll be happy to remind you if you think shit is sweet, because that weak shit ain't really what I'm on, and every motherfucking branch in this family tree is strong. Woo. So miss me with that funny shit, and if you feel some type of way, then gon' run it, bitch. I got 100 saying you'll be feeling funny quick, bitch. I been told you, y'all ain't fucking with this country shit. Ooh, if you gon' cross that line, then baby be ready, cause you never met another motherfucker that's quite like me. Ooh, and they ain't talking about nothing, just a lot of gun bumping. If they really want something, then fuck it, they ain't nothing, baby, we gon' see. We gon' see if you bout that life, if you really gon' ride when I pull up outside, baby, please believe. Woo, I said we gon' see if you bout that life, if you really gon' ride when I pull up outside, baby, please believe. Ooh, if you gon' cross that line, then baby be ready, cause you never met another motherfucker that's quite like me. Ooh, and they ain't talking about nothing, just a lot of gun bumping. If they really want something, then fuck it, they ain't nothing, baby, we gon' see.
But also look at the recent state visit to China to see this hard power through another lens. Marco Rubio made it clear in an interview where Sean Hannity kept trying to drag the conversation back into the old geopolitical framework. Rubio cut right through it.
The United States is very clear. We have to be able to make our own stuff. We cannot depend on China, or any country for that matter, for 100% of anything that we need. You know, when you depend on any other country for 100% of what you need, you're very vulnerable. The president's very committed to bringing back factories, bringing back industrial capacity to the United States, and diversifying where we get our rare earths, our critical minerals, our supply chains.
That's the thesis. Economic security is national security, and it's woven throughout the national security strategy and the national defense strategy. Every tariff, every trade negotiation, every policy decision flows from that single principle. And that flies directly in the face of the mission the Council on Foreign Relations was given nearly 50 years ago by the British.